almost like the Flashpoint, where it starts, one of the key matrix lines that will help shatter this status centralized
system. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Monday, and this is Flashpoint Radio. It is the second day of July 2012, and it is hot as a dickens everywhere. I believe we're on our sixth straight day of 100-degree weather here in St. Louis, but we're doing okay. I don't believe there have been any reported deaths in the St. Louis area, so count us as the lucky ones. Those on the East Coast are without power and have a heat wave going on, so prayers go out to those in Maryland, D.C., and Virginia and other areas. It is Monday, and we've got a whole slew of news for you this evening. Remember, follow me on Twitter at Flashpoint Radio, Facebook.com/Flashpoint Radio for updates, new episodes, and other news items. We're going to start this evening with a story I meant to get to last week. It doesn't really fall in the category of tonight's other topics, but from the Daily Caller, USDA suggests food stamp parties, games to increase participation. While spending on the food stamp program has increased 100%, under President Barack Obama, the government continues to push more Americans to enroll in the program. The USDA has embraced entire promotional campaigns designed to encourage eligible Americans to participate in the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, S-N-A-P. Remember, if it has an acronym, it is bad. It is always bad because that is always a scam to sell it to stupid people. So they're wanting to have things like throwing a great party, hosting social events where people mix and mingle. Yes, mixing and mingle because you're on food stamps and need government assistance. It is nothing to be proud of, but the government wants to increase those roles, and throwing parties is one of their ideas. So they'll take your tax dollars to throw a taxpayer-funded party to get more people to get more tax dollars. Don't you see how that works? Gotta love it. We're going to move on, though, to some police state tyranny news and how the public is treated by various agents of our government. We'll start with Google, that government-funded InQtel project. Remember, IN-Q-TEL. Start page that because it is the seed company that started Google, and it is a Department of Defense funding arm. So if you don't know that, do your research there. But this is from PrisonPlanet.com. Google Shopping censors all gun, ammo, and accessory results, from Firearms blog. Turns out that Google has sent out letters, emails to people that advertise on Google Shopping. When you hit, put a search into Google and hit shopping, it brings you up a list of items and websites to compare. Up until now, you've been able to compare weapons, guns, ammo, accessories, and, well, not anymore. This email was sent to Hamlin Tactical, and it basically says that we no longer authorize the sale or the promotion of weapons, ammo, or simply accessories, gun holsters, optics, anything of that sort on their site, so they're banning it. So yes, one other reason to start using startpage.com instead of Google. I understand Google is everywhere and it's hard to get away from, but those times you can, make that choice. We're going to stay with technology and the internet, and this is how the government treats the lowly compared to the elite. From the UK, Daily Mail Online, computer hacker who leaked nude photos of Scarlett Johansson will be ordered to pay her $66,000 and spend 5 years in jail. While I do not condone the fact that this man hacked into a private account to get nude pictures of this woman, 5 years in jail? Do you think those people that have all of their pictures online because they were stolen from people, do you think they'll get that kind of justice? Or maybe it's because it's a celebrity, and that's why the U.S. District Court in California is seeking to put this man behind bars for 5 years. He pled guilty. He admitted to it. He's not even fighting it. But they're going to throw the book at him because he's just a serf, and she is, well, a lord, well, not a lord, a lady, and needs to be respected and taken care of by her watchers, the government. And one other thing, if you haven't heard of swatting, maybe you should start page that as well. It's a very frightening tactic or prank of getting SWAT teams called to unsuspecting victims' houses and raids pulled on their homes. It shouldn't be that easy to get a SWAT team sent to a house, but people seem to be doing it as easy as ordering 10 Domino's pizzas to someone's house. From the Evansville Courier and Press, courierpress.com, police threat matrix dictated SWAT team response at Powell Avenue home. Stephanie Milan, 18, was relaxing in her family's living room Thursday, watching the Food Network when a heavily armed squad of Evansville police officers arrived on the front porch. Dressed in full protective gear, police broke the storm door. The front door was already open, so they kicked in the storm door. They also broke a front window, and they tossed in 2 flashbang grenades. 2 flashbang grenades into the living room. And wouldn't you know it, the police had invited a television station to record the entire thing. Turns out, wrong house. Someone was piggybacking on their open Wi-Fi network. Why did all this happen? Well, it seems that someone was saying some bad things about the chief of police. So the chief of police, because he felt threatened by someone online, decided to send a SWAT team to someone's house, and it ended up being the wrong house, a grandmother's house with an 18-year-old person, and they threw flashbang grenades in. But it's no problem. They said that the threat was credible, so their actions were necessary. The Courier Press pressed them to release the search warrant, and they said they did not have to release the search warrant as of yet. And well, as of today, they found the suspect that actually posted it, and he was 2 houses down. Yeah, and I'm sure the Courier Press will no longer ask for that search warrant that actually had this person's address that got raided. So yes, you better watch out, and you better protect your Wi-Fi account, or someone might use that open Wi-Fi, say something bad, and flashbangs and SWAT teams may come through your front door, because this is America, and you have no protection against that. But remember, Indiana did just pass a law that states you can use deadly force against an unlawful entry. This obviously was not an unlawful entry because a ridiculously stupid judge signed this warrant, but what are you going to do? Back to prisonplanet.com, DHS gives UC Berkeley armored personnel carrier. A $200,000 grant from DHS gets UC Berkeley an 8-ton vehicle commonly referred to as a Bearcat. Usually used by U.S. troops, it can be equipped with a rotating roof hatch, powered turrets, gun ports, a battering ram, and a weapon system used remotely to engage people with deadly force. Yes, that is UC Berkeley. And a gentleman, a University of Virginia professor, Dewey Cornell, slammed the purchase as overkill, pointing out that the average U.S. college has a homicide once every 480 years. But the federal government will give any amount of your tax dollars to any law enforcement organization that wants to militarize, that wants to scare the public. Why? Because it's in the New World Order's best interests to get you afraid of everything. Most namely, those that are sworn to protect you. Are they anymore? No, I don't think so. From CBS Las Vegas, New Mexico mom jailed for overdue Twilight books. A New Mexico woman was arrested and spent a night in jail for not returning the book Twilight and Twilight Saga, the DVD. Why? For $36 worth of fines. They arrested her. Remember, this is the second story this year of the police working on behalf of the library and either arresting someone or showing up at someone's house. The last one was a 4-year-old girl. So yes, you better watch those library fines, because you can be locked up, because they'll lock you up for anything anymore. Like this, from the Daily Mail again. Pedestrian thrown in jail for 12 hours for holding up sign warning drivers about police speed trap. A woman in Houston, Texas was arrested and jailed for 12 hours after she held up a makeshift sign to warn drivers about a speed trap. Natalie Plummer, officially charged with walking in the roadway because they said she was not on the sidewalk, even though she claims she was, Of course, she is just a serf, so her word is nothing. As long as the police officer's word contradicts her word, the judge will take his word as gold, as infallible, and she loses. But we found in an earlier Flashpoint Radio, we covered that in Florida, a judge actually upheld a gentleman's case that you can warn passing motorists of a speed trap or a police officer sitting ticketing people. So this woman was unlawfully arrested for simply questioning the police and their tactics. Because yes, if you question the police, if you criticize the police, or if you call attention to their scams, you are the one that is punished. Not those that are scamming the public, you are. Because those that are whistleblowers get punished in this day. This is the world where you don't get any acknowledgement for being truthful and honest. You get rewarded for being a criminal. As in Eric Holder, the criminal head of the Department of Justice, the Attorney General of the United States. From Beltway Confidential, Secret Service shuts down fire Eric Holder protest. A protest was held this morning on the out front of the White House with people holding signs that said, Barack Obama, fire Eric Holder. And wouldn't you know it, right as the protest was gaining traction, more people were showing up and they were getting some attention, the Secret Service found a suspicious package and deemed the protest unlawful and shut it down. So, they can just bring out a paper bag, set it on the ground, say, look, a suspicious package, and shut down your protest because you have no First Amendment rights when you're criticizing the authority. You can criticize anyone else at your level, at your serfdom level. The freedom of speech still applies there. But when it comes to our lords and ladies, we cannot criticize them. So yes, go to sleep. Remember, Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes are getting a divorce, so that's all you should be worrying about. None of this stuff matters. There is no tyranny coming. There is no militarization of police. There were no tanks or armored personnel carriers on the streets of St. Louis last week. Obamacare got knocked down. They are not going to force you to buy something. Everything's fine. America is still America. I wish. Jay-Z signing off for Flashpoint Radio saying God bless and keep your eyes to the sky. I will see you tomorrow.
It's a long way to the top.